everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. So I'm really glad you guys like that flat because I was not expecting a lot of people to be intrigued about what goes on with that because I feel like a lot of my British builds don't do that well, especially the ones that aren't that luxurious, just because it's such a niche thing to do. It's not like everyone knows what's going on within this build compared to my other ones. So I'm really glad you guys liked it. It's one of my favorite builds of this week. I was gonna say this year. I've only been doing YouTube for 4 months, so like saying this year would have been a little bit dramatic, I think, of this week. But I decided to do something quite different than what I'm normally used to doing. As you know, I love my architecture, so if I can build something straight up from scratch, I would rather do that. But this time around, I decided to go into one of the pre-made apartments we've already got in the Sims and renovate it. I don't normally like renovating them because I normally don't like the entire structure of them. But one of my absolute favorite things of these apartments, and the only reason why I will renovate these apartments, but the ones we've got in eco lifestyle, I just rather create my own, is because the views are unmatched with the ones from city living. Like as I was building, I just realized why I fell in love with these apartments so long ago, and I just questioned why I didn't build so often with them. Actually, I didn't question, I knew why I don't build so often with them, because you can't change the windows, and half the time it's just the floor plan was weird and it just didn't add to the vibe that you wanted the apartment to have with the windows that you placed on. Like the exterior I get, but the thing is, half the time I'm playing the game, I'm not really looking at what's going on in the exterior. If I'm going to be honest with you, especially with these apartments, I'm just looking at what's going on in the interior. So to be able to change those windows now with the new updates that was for the Sims 4 RAM pack, it was just honestly amazing. I was aware of this because I was on YouTube and I was watching a lot of speed builds, and then I came across one of the creators that I'm interested in. And I think their name is Ellie Builds, and they built this moody apartment. And I was watching the speed build, and I was like, wait, first of all, I didn't, because with the new patch, what I knew you could change the things. I didn't know you could actually like change windows and all of that. So that was really interesting. So when they said that you can change windows and they started building this moody apartment, I was like, okay, I need to build an apartment. Like, I'm so inspired now. So yeah, thank you for inspiring me. But it was so inspiring to see them build this really moody apartment. And the funny thing is that even though I've built this apartment, I would rather live in their apartment because I think I've said it before. As much as I do a lot of the natural and neutral beige white aesthetic with a lot of my build, I would hate to live in a well, obviously, if I was given the choice between living anyone else and living in this apartment, of course I would choose this apartment because it's just luxurious and it's nice. But if I was given the choice to have any kind of decor, I would rather live in their moody apartment because I like the darker tones and I love the vibe of that. Because I understand that a lot of people prefer neutral white spaces because it seems like a sense of order, seems very clean. And the thing is, in my head, I feel like as chaotic it is, it's an organized chaos. So I would rather have something a little bit more, something that I feel like my environment has to reflect what's going on in my head. And an all white, very clean aesthetic would not best represent what's going on in my head. But the more moody, deeper, darker tones would. And it's not because I've got so many dark thoughts. Well, yeah, everyone's got dark thoughts, but it's more of I've got a lot of I've got a lot of optimism within me that, but it's kind of like buried underneath the cynical nature of what I've experienced through life. It's not been the worst experience, but it's like sometimes you just have to continuously stay positive, and it's like sometimes I just do feel a bit comforted within the a deeper nature of certain colors. Like those dark reds, those dark purples, the dark greens, emeralds, all of those kinds of colors really give me a sense of comfort. So I it's weird because I'm doing this video as I describe how I would like the complete opposite aesthetic. What I would love from this, there's a lot of rooms within this build I really love. I think I think this is one of the builds I like borderline everything off. Um it's just, it really sucks that I'm not able to showcase you the entire full process. Like I am showcasing you the process to what extent that I can, but as you can see, there is a few glitches here and there because I had to go through the entire video. Like normally I do my voiceover and I pause where the glitches get really bad and I continue on and make it seem like the glitches never occurred. But with this one, when I was doing the cinematic intro, it was very glitchy. So I was like, if this is glitchy, that means that the speed build is probably very glitchy. And this is one of the most glitchy speed builds I've ever had in my life. I think it's the mesh of it being both, obviously the Xbox game bar is like horrendous, but it's also because probably I was using an apartment and probably because I was, what else was I doing? And probably because I was using platforms and all of that, it was just a really bad mesh for my game. So my game was like, yeah, I don't like this. So it just glitched out throughout the entire process. So I'm not fully able to showcase to you every single little thing that goes on. I'm just trying to showcase to you guys the parts that aren't the glitchiest. And even now, as I watch this, because I edited it yesterday, I'm like, yeah, I could probably have deleted that. I could probably have deleted that. So this video might be even shorter than I was expecting it to be, because normally my videos are around 30 minutes long, like between 24 minutes to 30 minutes long, but this is quite a shorter video just because of all the glitches. So you know what, thank you for the glitches, because that's allowed me to spend a little bit more time in renovating the Italian neighborhood, which I've been doing at the moment. So yeah, I went off on a tangent on off of what I was actually originally talking about. Yeah, I would rather live in a moodier styled apartment. It's just, it's very similar. I've got a similar mindset as I did when I did the flat, which is, since it's something that I like or have lived in, I worry that if I try and create it in The Sims and it doesn't come out the way that I need it to come out, I'm gonna feel really, really upset, because then it's like I will be questioning my everything. I'll be questioning myself, because it's like I love this style so much. The fact that if I can't recreate it, or if I can recreate it, but it's not the way I've imagined it, it's almost like, do you know when you read a book and you've imagined these characters as this type of way, and say you try and create them in The Sims, or you try and draw them or whatever, and you try and create these characters that you've got in your head, and then when you actually do produce them almost to a T of how you expect them to be, and then the actual real life version is not suiting you, but you know there's nothing else you could have done to improve it, it's almost like a disappointment, because nothing can really ever match up to the imagination. And yeah, that's how I feel like in most of my builds half the time. It's like I can't ever properly build what I would necessarily live in, just because if I see it and I see that it's not actually as comforting or as great as my mind has made it out to seem, I'll feel really disheartened from it. But yeah, anyway, that's besides the point. What I really enjoyed building within this, you get a lot of like almost therapy talk within these videos. Like I'm slowly delving from my, hey, I did this to that to my, see, anyway, so these are the dark cynical thoughts of my mind. And yeah, it's quite a way to delve into it. Yeah, God, I need to stop talking so close to the mic. This is gonna peak so much. I love the intro song. The intro song was really great, and I wish I could have had a lot of the shots from the that I filmed for the cinematic intro, because there's this one specific one where you zoom into the office. Like it's like one of the, if you've watched films and it's a zoom in. No, it's not a zoom in. It's a, oh my gosh, I forgot all the film technical terms. Oh, I've got all the camera movement term. That is so bad. I need to catch up on that, because I really should remember those. But it's not a pan. It's something else. Oh, I forgot it. But basically, it's when you, because I would say it's a zoom in if it was me zooming in the editor sense. But since I zoomed in with the cinematic camera, which is basically replicated a camera person zoom in, like physically moving forward, pull in. I think it's a pull in. I'm pretty sure it's a pull in or something like that. with that, there was that for the office part, and I really loved that because you could see the entire skyline and it can show you how great these views are now. You can change how great the views look now that you are able to change the windows. So I wasn't able to do that, which sucks. But if you download this build, even though there's like so much CC, like honestly, but yeah, if you download this build, you will be able to see it in the flesh and how great the views are with these windows. I'm not too sure what these windows are, and these windows, I won't lie to you, are bordering the realm of Alpha CC. I try to keep it max as match. That's my favorite vibe for everything in my game, but those windows do verge onto the realm of Alpha CC just because with how thin the paint, the lines between the panes pants those are. So yeah, it does verge into the realm of Alpha CC, but I just love the whole checkered boxy grid kind of vibe of everything. It feels like very it feels very French apartment inspired. Like, I live in this house in New York, but I love French architecture and interior design, so I decided to bring in elements of that within this build. That's what I think of in this build. So obviously, with that mindset, I then decided, when I think of France, when I think of New York, what do I think of? I think of fashion. So I decided to then make it into this whole fashion styled apartment. And I really liked how it came out. I think my favorite rooms are the office and the bathroom because of views, the light, and the everything. Please stay and watch the house tour because nothing can ever compete with the lighting of how good that house tour is. And as the house tour is either has already begun or is beginning, yeah, I really, really love this build. It's one of my favorite builds I've done in a long time because I really got to just go all out with CC, because even though I do a lot of not no CC builds, CC remains to be my favorite. I love using it when it comes to builds. So yeah, here's the build. It will be available on my gallery, and all the information regarding what CC I used and what my gallery ID is and what the name of the place is will all be in my description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video so much. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblings. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments, the more the merrier. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh my god, just look at those views. Okay, sorry. Just goodbye.